but I know we've got one person that wants.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a twofold purpose for being out here. One was to be the unveiling of the name of this building, and because of weather conditions, the rain we had yesterday and the winds today, we really couldn't find an adequate way to mask the name and create the surprise factor. And we figured, what the heck? It may not be a surprise, but it's an honor for us to be able to do this. These two people have supported us from the beginning. Bud stood in the rain with us 14 years ago in the soccer complex when the traveling wall that heals came and became the genesis for this project. On May 28, 2014, Bud and Doris' wedding anniversary date, she came to help us dedicate the wall. Because of the generosity of Eldon Roth and the fact that he became friends with them both in life, that's why we were able to dedicate the Brigadier General Bud and Doris Day Interpretive Center on this day. George is here, the son, an Air Force man himself, and I'd like him to step forward and make a few comments. He's representing the family, and we're glad he was able to make it. George?
Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you, fellow veterans. Can everyone do me a favor? So I'll turn around. Isn't that beautiful? Just incredible. Thank you, Siouxlanders. Thank you thank you, Mike. Thank you all those who are part of this dedication today of this building, the Interpretive Center, named after my mom and dad. Thank you to the benefactors. Thank you especially to Eldon Roth, such an incredible friend of my mom and dad. And of course, I've got my cousins, Jerry Day and Arnie and Sue and Tammy, and of course my sister and her husband Darren are all here to celebrate with you. This is a great day. We celebrate and we remember those who died, as well as those who are living and are serving today, and those who have served. And we get to carry that forward into the naming of this building. I have a few remarks I wrote down because I won't get them right otherwise. But I do want to share a little bit. Hopefully it won't be too long and we'll stay warm enough. I've got one other thought about this day. As I was watching the ceremony for Veterans Day with the replica of the Vietnam Wall in the background, and the wind blaring, the cold, blustery wind, all I could think about was how the backside of that wall just like the backs of the men and women that are written and emblazoned on that wall have held up this great nation on our behalf. That wall was holding back the winds a little bit for us today. So I apologize. I am a little bit, I get this way on Memorial Day, on Veterans Day, but and certainly today. My mom would be and is truly honored, and any of you know my mom and dad, they would be just incredibly humbled by this. My mom couldn't travel. She's 92 and doing great, but she couldn't make the trip. So we're representing her. My sister, Sonia, also couldn't make it due to another travel obligation that came up, a family obligation with her husband. So today, I think back to the kinds of things that my dad and mom shared with us through the years. And my mom continues to share with her great wit. They were born and bred here in the heartland. They were raised in Riverside. They were brought up, and as you all know, my dad answered the call as a 17-year-old in high school, joined the Marines, went and trained in San Diego, and then came back, got his high school diploma, and then deployed into the Pacific. That began a journey for him where he actually grew up. He described himself as one who was always getting in fights, always doing and making some of the wrong choices until he became a Marine. And he knew why they had to do what they did. And he thought back to all that he learned about the School of Hard Knocks here in the heartland of America. He had to go out and hunt and fish for food, for survival, for his mom and dad and his sisters. He literally went, and the food he got would help preserve them for another week. He learned so much. I remember some 20 years ago, we were driving through Sioux City, and he, from the back of the car, he points and he says, "Hey, look over there, that hill." He said, "That's the hill that we used to play King of the Hill." And I see, he boxed in the Marines, and he just learned about how to live life and why to live life in his service to this nation. There's something that I think my sisters and I and our brother who sailed away several years ago, and in the ultimate rejoin with our dad, they taught the four of us that we need to stick together, have no hurts, and have fun. So stick together, no hurts, have fun. They never put it that way. I learned that a few years ago from the TCU Institute for Child Development. Long story, but I think it really applies to what they taught us. My dad, his example as a POW with all of his cellmates, if anyone learned how to stick together, it was them.
Bluff High School Choir are now going to perform our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
please come forward. It's fitting that Mary is here to help cut the ribbon, and I know members of the Siouxland Chamber and the South Sioux Chamber are all here. If you'll all come forward and gather, we'll cut this ribbon and let Marcon continue with his nap.
One, cut.
Congratulations, first of all. This day has been a long time coming. I know you have a ways to go, but to get to that stage, this has to be a big day for you.
A huge milestone in the progress of Siouxland Freedom Park. I've been at it 11 years. This project has been extant for virtually 14 years. 10 years ago, there was nothing here. This was a thicket with weeds as big around as your arm. And to see what we have now with the wall, the flag, the building, we're progressing rapidly to finish the interior. Soon we'll begin to populate the building with museum quality exhibits. It's hard to put into words what a special day this is for all of us.
Well, I know Eldon, of course, very humble, but there's not a better military person in Siouxland history to have this center named after.
When he made the decision, and it was his to make because of his largesse, that Bud and Doris Day be honored and have their name on this building, everyone that I mentioned it to smiled and said, perfect. And I agree with that. There are no two people who have done more to inspire us and to set the kind of tone that will pervade Siouxland Freedom Park in the future. We're proud to have the names on this building. We'll do everything we can to live up to the standards they've set.
Well, is there a better day to do it than Veterans Day today?
Perfect day for it. A day of celebration and remembering veterans, and finally a day with some sunshine.
So going forward, you have the Honor Flight photos exhibit up. What's the plan going forward now for future exhibits and to bring in some more permanent things?
The next step, which will begin almost immediately, is to sit down with Blue Water, our exhibit consultant, bring in the various stakeholders in the community, from education, veteran community, the public, various aspects, and begin the process of input so everyone can put their ideas on the table about what they feel should be contained in this building. And we'll run that through the filter of our mission and what we want to continue to present as an impression for the public. And within about 10 months to a year, we'll begin to bring in the electronic wow factor things, the graphics, the traveling and permanent exhibits, dioramas, etc. So I wish I could tell you right now what it's going to look like, but that'll be part of the process that will evolve. But I assure you that it will be professional, informative, inspirational, and educational.
Is the interior of the building finished now, or the interior, is that finished now?
No, we still have the theater, presentation theater, the recording studio. There's still painting, floor coverings, some other things, but we have heat and water, and we still got the lighting to put up, but we have come such a long way in the past 6 months. We wanted to take this opportunity to show off what we have to the public and give everybody an idea of where we're going. We're very, very close, and we didn't want to wait until that time when everything was perfect. We thought, warts and all, let's show everybody what we have.
Do you know when it will be all finished, the finishing details and stuff?
Well, the interior of the building itself within the next couple of weeks. As far as the exhibits are concerned, that's a process that takes about 10 months.
Yeah.
So hopefully by Veterans Day next year, you'll be able to come visit the totally complete museum quality interpretive center.
But it's just a few weeks till the flooring and the painting and everything is done?
Exactly.
When you talk about the new exhibits, putting them through your filtering process, is that a group of people? What is that?
Well, we have a board of directors. We have an exhibit consultant who is very good at keeping the focus on the mission. We want to present a unified impression. People can walk in. Our plan is in the future to have veterans and other volunteers as docents to kind of guide people through the experience. But somebody who walks in all alone and views the contents in there by themselves, we want them to carry the same impression away with them. The idea is this will imbue people with the veteran experience. What they've done, what they continue to do, all of the things that we enjoy because of veterans.
Do you need to raise any more funds, or do you have enough funds now to get you over the finish line?
No, we still have funds to raise for the Korean War Memorial, improvements around the Freedom Rock, other things. So our fundraising efforts won't stop. We're in good shape. We have the cash on hand to complete the building. We have most of the cash on hand to do what we need to do with the exhibit consultant. And we're probably looking at another $150,000 for the Korean War Memorial, another $50,000 or so for improvements around the Freedom Rock. It's a continuing process. So the 501c3 Siouxland Freedom Park Incorporated will continue to exist literally for as long as this building is around, to advise, to bring in traveling exhibits, speakers, fun projects. So there will be a continuing need for funds.
Do you know what the total price tag of the building comes to when it's all done?
Well, I can tell you that all in, with the completion of the building, from day one we have raised and spent a little over $3 million.